Hi. Thank you for, suggesting we do this. I still can't quite believe you offered this as an option for a date. Well, yes, I know it's something that I like to do, but I never thought anyone else would be happy to come along with me, let alone propose the idea. It's just, it's sweet that you think about what I like. Well, yes, I suppose that is, we are, dating, or starting to, getting used to that. I suppose I'm used to people finding my interests strange or boring. Well, I have a tendency to ramble, I think. I'm not sure if that's a nervous thing or I just get excited. Probably both. You think it's cute when I ramble? Not sure what I'm supposed to say to that. I mean, I think you're, why do I get embarrassed giving other people compliments? You're really sweet. And very charming, and I I'm really glad we met. God knows, as much as I, loved the idea of dating, I didn't have the confidence to approach anyone else for it. It seems like incredibly good fortune, or I don't know, something else, for you to have been there that day and come over. I don't know, I really like you. Okay. Well, good. I'm glad the feeling is mutual. Yes, of course, we can go. I'm still rather in shock that you suggested we go, shopping at, charity shops and thrift stores and the like. Yes, no, you did specifically say, VHS hunting. I know I rambled about them a bit, and films in general, when you came over last time. I thought I would have bored you with them, honestly. But you really want to try and pick out more movies with me? Is this your way of saying that you would like to come over for a movie night again? Well, I suppose you would have to, since we're going to all the trouble of buying more. Not that they're a fortune or anything, or that you actually do have to. You'd like to? Okay. You mean I was almost smooth for a second? I suppose in my head, I imagine myself being more confident in the things that I would say, in daydreams I've had about romantic scenarios, but real life is scarier than that. I don't mean to lose my confidence on saying things like that. When you imagine it, the other person's in your imagination, they're never going to get offended or upset or uncomfortable at whatever you say, or take your tone of voice the wrong way, or you take their tone of voice the wrong way, or whatever. Whereas in reality, if I say things, you're a real person, you might not like them. Well, I appreciate your faith in me. I'm gonna go see what they have. If you would rather, browse the rest of the shop, that's fine. You really want to do all of this together? No, I suppose, yes, I understand it's a date. You'll tell me if you're getting bored. Alright, if you insist that you won't. Suppose I can see there's DVDs over there. If they have any VHS tapes, then. But these normally do. All of the sort of clothes and knickknacks and stuff are in that half of the shop, and then over here is books and CDs and DVDs, and then they have a little section of video games and cassettes and VHS and records, vinyl. I'm probably the only one that buys many VHSs these days, but well, there are people that collect them still. Some people collect really specific ones I don't know if you've seen online. Some people I've seen collect any old children's shows, cartoons that they watched growing up, I suppose, because some of those you can't get on DVD these days. And they want to own a physical copy of it and not have to rely on trying to find it somewhere online. Which I understand. I mean, I'm all for collecting physical media, preserving physical media. The internet can be wonderful, but things haven't stopped going lost just because they've been uploaded online, If a video is only on one website and that website gets deleted, or sadly we're seeing a lot more these days of shows getting cancelled from streaming services, never having a DVD release, and now it's just gone unless someone uploads it somewhere, But then the streaming service has every right to take it down for copyright, but how else are people meant to watch it? It's ridiculous. Entire television shows and films, they shouldn't just go missing. I don't know. Oh, this is an example. Have you ever watched it? Have you ever heard of it? I presume maybe you've at least heard of it. It still tours. It's a it's a dance show. And, an Irish dance show. Well, technically, that's what majority of it is. They do also have, flamenco and tap and Russian dances as well. The name sounds familiar, but you've never looked into it. Oh, well, I suppose you don't need me to go into it. You'd like me to. Sorry, I'm literally bouncing up and down, aren't I? I'm not used to people allowing me to, or wanting to hear me talk, especially when I stumble over my words. Especially about trivial things like this. You don't think it's... Well, yes, I like hearing other people talk about things they're passionate about or excited in or that they like. I guess I haven't met many other people that feel the same. Well, then, this is Riverdance. The original, this is the, 1995? Yes, 5. It started as a, like a intermission act, a halftime show, whatever you would call it, in the Eurovision Song Contest, when it was hosted in Ireland in 1994. And they did the title piece called Riverdance with singers, and then soft shoe dancing and hard shoe dancing with new original music. And it was such a... I suppose it modernised Irish dancing in a way and got a lot more popular with younger people. I suppose a lot of people thought both of the leads looked pretty cool. That doesn't feel like a word that should be in my vocabulary, does it? But it got a standing ovation. I've never seen another intermission show like that get that reaction. And so it did well enough that they afterwards expanded upon it and wrote and choreographed a whole show, and it toured, I think, just the UK originally. This was recorded in Dublin, but so it was in the Eurovision Song Contest in 94. This was in 95, this VHS recording of the original show with the original cast. And then the lead male dancer, Michael Flatley, left. He wanted to essentially rework the show and change it up, and the rest of them sort of wanted to keep it the same, so he left in order to make his own show called Lord of the Dance, and then also expanded upon that to become Feet of Flames, and then did other shows as well. But Riverdance went on to... It was on Broadway for a while in, 96, 97, something like that. So you can get it on DVD, but not this version. This original 1995 recording came out on VHS and then has not been remastered. There's some later versions that might include clips from it, but the whole entire thing, as far as I'm aware, has never been put onto DVD or Blu-ray. You can get the pro shot of the a professionally shot version of the Broadway production on DVD, and the 2011, I think, Beijing performance, and the 2020 25th anniversary tour. You can get those on DVD and Blu-ray, but not this original version, which there are things I like in the later versions. This original version doesn't include trading taps, and I do like that piece. And some of the like Slip into Spring, the orchestra, especially in the most recent version, gets a couple pieces they get to do, where it's just them and no dancers, and I really like that, getting to shine a spotlight on the musicians. But I suppose I have a soft nostalgia spot for this version since it's the first one I saw, and I do really love the original version of Fire Dance. It was originally more like a duet of two dancers, and then they changed it to a solo for Broadway, which I do not have a problem with. I mean, Maria Page is very talented. She can do that number on her own, but I don't really like the current modern version of well, it's not the same dancer now, but the flamenco dancer, and then like 8 male dancers coming on to dance around her. There's something I mean, I was younger, obviously, when I saw it for the first time, and it might have awakened something in me, if I can say that in public. Well, I suppose I'll just have to show it to you, but this is the full-length 98-minute spectacular live from the Point Theatre Dublin, composed by Bill Whelan? I'm not going to pronounce these names correctly. Produced by Moya Doherty, directed by Con McLaughlin, principal choreographer Michael Flatley, but Jean Butler did also choreograph as well. Doesn't say that on here though, but she did. Starring Michael Flatley with Jean Butler and Maria Pages and Anuna? I'm not sure if that's how it's pronounced. That's the group of singers. The Riverdance Irish Dance Company, the Riverdance Orchestra, and international stars from America, Russia, and Spain. Riverdance the Show, a 98-minute video cassette of dance, music, and song featuring the unique talents of Michael Flatley. Riverdance the Show recreates the magic of the Eurovision dance partnership of Michael Flatley and Jean Butler with the haunting sound of the Irish choral group Anuna and the dynamic energy of the Irish Dance Company. The show, composed by Bill Whelan, I think, features a cast of 80, with a host of international performers including Maria Pages, the extraordinary Spanish dancer, the Harlem Tappers, Leon Hazelwood, Jelly Germain, and Marcel Penou. 3 dancers skilled in the old-style American tap, James Bignon and the Deliverance Ensemble from Atlanta, Georgia. That's right, there was a American gospel choir in this version, in the original version. There wasn't in any of the later ones. The Moiseev Dance Company, the Riverdance Orchestra joined by Raphael Riqueni, Nikola Parov, and the legendary piper Davy Spillane. And then it lists all 17 of the pieces. There's no plot to this show. It's not like a traditional dance show. If you think of something like the Nutcracker Ballet or Swan Lake, this doesn't have a story. It's just a group of different dance pieces. Lord of the Dance that Flatley went on to do does have a basic kind of fairy tale story, good versus evil sort of thing. A Tryon RTE video, principal choreographer Michael Flatley, production design Mary Morrow, directed by John McLaughlin. Videogram 1995, approximately 98 minutes long. This leaves sort of falling out a bit. Let's see. Oh, it actually, the inside, if I'm allowed to open these, it gives a description of every single piece of music. part 1... Can you hold the tape? I really don't want to get in trouble. At the root of all cultures is the quest to come to terms with spiritual and elemental forces. Just as our ancestors learnt to harness fire, water, wood, and stone, so they learnt to harness their creativity. They learnt to express and celebrate their own lives, their human relationships, and their bond with the place they called home. There is sort of I suppose, a vague plot at times, especially in the later productions, at least about the Irish people, and normally now at the beginning of Act 2, it sort of is showing them emigrating to America. I shouldn't... It is... Sorry, I know I said you could say if you're bored, and if you haven't, I shouldn't assume, but surely you don't... I shouldn't... Are you interested in any of this? You like... my voice. I suppose I could keep reading. As long as we don't get in trouble. Well, no, I will buy some. Well, not this one. Well, I already own it. Well, I didn't pick it up to buy it. I got excited about seeing it because I really love this show, and it was a good example of something that only exists on VHS. I mean, yes, people have uploaded it to YouTube, you can watch the whole thing on YouTube, but if not for somebody digitally remastering and doing that, and having the ability to rip the VHS tape, we wouldn't have that YouTube upload, and we wouldn't have it. You know, if not for someone choosing to preserve it, choosing to keep the VHS, and having the physical hardware in order to rip it onto either transfer it onto a CD-ROM or just into a file on their computer, people wouldn't have the ability to watch this. How many people own a VCR? I just thought it was a good example of... I just got excited. Yes, I'll make sure I'll buy others. I'm just done. Behind what? I don't know, if you went into a bookstore and read the whole book. But yes, I know we're not watching the tape. Fine. Well, I don't want you to get bored if we're in here for about an hour or more. You think my voice is soothing? Well, as long as you don't fall asleep standing up, then I suppose I could read the rest of it. Where were we? I'll be at number 1. Wheel around the sun. The power and presence of the sun has always fascinated mankind. I'm whispering because I don't want anyone working in the store to know that I'm standing here reading out their tapes. I don't want to disturb anyone, right? Wheel around the sun. The power and presence of the sun has always fascinated mankind. Conscious of our dependence on it, we have ascribed it to a supernatural or religious significance. This dance piece begins with a slow air played by Davy Spillane. It develops into a full-blown dance with Michael Flatley leading the Irish Dance Company in an energetic reel in praise of the sun's great power. I love that piece. I will say, when I just listen to the music, I find myself tapping with my fingernails the actual taps of the shoes, because I've watched it so many times I know them off by heart. But the actual soundtrack, if you were to purchase it, it doesn't include the tapping sounds, which I think is a crime. That's a bit harsh. But I mean, perhaps even if it was sort of a two-disc situation, and disc 1 could be without taps, and disc 2 could be with both, I find myself listening to the actual show in the background far more often, because it feels lacking. The tapping, whether it's in Irish dancing or tap dancing, I think it adds to the music. They are using their feet as an instrument. Maybe that's just me. I suppose I should read faster. I don't want to get in trouble. 2. The Heart's Cry. This ethereal vocal piece, The Heart's Cry, forms the beginning of a celebration of womanhood, a theme which is continued in The Countess Kathleen. 3. The Countess Kathleen. Jean Butler dances the slip jig, The Countess Kathleen, recalling Yeats' nationalistic metaphor of nurturing Irish womanhood. The dance transforms into an earthy jig where Jean and her troupe challenge some unsuspecting males and celebrate the sexual dimension of womanhood. I suppose that is what they're doing. As the 3 Russian dancers come out and accost them, I suppose. I cannot pronounce number 4. I don't know how to pronounce Irish. But it's a solo piece. David Spillane with a lament on the... I can't pronounce either. On a type of pipe instrument. It does sound really haunting. Oh no, I'm gonna butcher that if I try. For a great Irish hero and leader who fought the sea prior to his death. 5. Distant Thunder. I find it interesting. Both Riverdance and All of the Dance have hard shoe dancing with no music in the background, so it's just sort of the a cappella taps. In this unaccompanied hard shoe dance routine, Michael Flatley and 6 male Irish dancers evoke the power and dramatic energy of thunder. Fire dance. Like the sun, fire is a source of heat and comfort, and also something to be feared. Maria Page's... Did I spell her name wrong? It's Maria, isn't it? Not Marie. Oh, they spelled her name wrong here. Appears as the embodiment of fire, her dancing is alluring yet dangerous. Michael Flatley, symbolising the early Celtic settlers, approaches cautiously at first, but ultimately embraces and fully engages with the flame. It's a good dance. 7. Riverdance. This is what was performed at Eurovision. Anuna opens this piece by evoking the spirit of the river woman and ushering her onto the land. Jean Butler dances in the soft shoe style to reflect the fluid nature of the river woman's being and to parallel the river's movements as it spreads through the land. The river woman has woken the earth from its sleep, which is symbolised by the energetic movements of Michael Flatley in this hard shoe tap dance. Now the forces of earth and water come together tentatively at first, and then into a rousing jig. The 2 principal dancers then lead a group of 24 Irish traditional dancers to a spectacular climax. And that is just Act 1. I'm not going to read the whole thing. We could watch it if you're curious about the rest. I did used to... Oh, they've consistently put Marie Pages on the inside of the sleeve, but on the outside it says Maria. And I also know her name to be Maria. I don't know why on the inside they've consistently called her Marie. I did used to fast forward a lot to the Russian dance segment. Well, YouTube didn't always exist. I couldn't just pull it up there. And it would take a while because it is about 2/3 of the way into Act 2. So quite a while to fast forward all the way there. But I suppose we will put this. Can you pass me the tape back? Riverdance, the show. Seems in good condition. No, I'm not going to buy it just to have an extra copy. Mine still plays fine. You raise a point, though. Tapes do eventually wear out. I don't want to start hoarding every copy of it I find. You put it back in the box. Gently. No, I don't. Don't, because if you start suggesting that I get multiple of the same cassette, we'll be here all day. Just trying to find ones that I could actually purchase. Oh, this is precious. I think I used to watch this. I'd almost forgotten about it. I must have. It seems so familiar. It doesn't say it's a BBC thing. Property. I wonder what channel it would have aired on. I definitely would have seen it on the television. Jane Hissey's Old Bear and Friends. Little Bear Lost and Other Stories. 4 entertaining adventures of Old Bear, Bramble Brown, Duck, Rabbit, and Little Bear, narrated by Anton Rogers. It's, stop motion. I always had a soft spot for, well, I always preferred 2D animation over 3D animation, but I also always had a soft spot for, not stop motion in general, there's nothing wrong with it, but specifically if it's used real toys. So Old Bear or Bagpuss, things like that. I thought this was so sweet. I think it was a series of books first. And I think the author herself, Jane Hissey, put all the episodes of this onto her YouTube channel. But I don't actually own any. More adventures from Old Bear and his friends as they continue their escapes from the playroom. Little Bear Lost. Little Bear and the other toys are playing hide and seek, but have forgotten to choose a seeker. Old Bear agrees to look for them, and soon everyone has been found, except for Little Bear. Where can he be? There were 5 in a bed. The bed is getting rather crowded, and when Old Bear falls out and bumps his head, the toys decide it would be a good idea to try and find somewhere else to sleep. But where? The circus. There's been a party in the playroom, and the toys can see that there is food left on the table, tantalizingly out of reach. Can they eat? Little Bear explores underneath the table and discovers that the perfect place for a circus. Discovers that perfect place for a circus? I suppose that makes sense. It feels like they're missing a word out. Discovers that it is the perfect place for a circus. All the toys come to watch, and Rabbit, who turns out to be the star of the show, accidentally solves the problem of the out-of-reach food. The rainy day. It's a wet afternoon, and the rain is coming through the playroom window and dripping through a hole in the doll's house roof. The toys dream up several schemes for mending the hole, but nothing works. Can Little Bear find the right answer? That seems familiar with him, holding the little umbrella. Produced by, this was made by Pickwick. Stories and artwork by Jane Hissey, licensed by Random House UK. Random about that, as in Penguin. Pickwick Group Limited, 1994. Produced by Optimum Television for Carlton TV in association with Ealing Animation for Carlton Television, directed by Kevin Griffiths. Copyright Carlton Television, 1993. I don't recognise the name Carlton Television. Running time 40 minutes. I wonder what it would have aired on for me to have seen it. Well, there's a number of them. Well, I suppose there are more than 4 episodes. 2 enchanting collections from the family. Old Bear and His Playroom Friends, which has 2 VHSs. One contains 5 stories and one contains 4, but I swear there were more than 9 episodes. And a collection of Beatrix Potter ones. I don't remember. Are these 2D animated? The World of Peter Rabbit and Friends. And the tape. Old Bear and Friends, Little Bear Lost and Other Stories. I might have to get this, if that's alright. I know we've already had this conversation about, me owning children's shows on DVD and VHS. You don't have to watch this with me, I would just like to have it. This show existed. Well, no. Hopefully they won't be mad at us for standing here for so long, because I'm definitely getting this one. You'll hold on to it? Thank you. And if you see anything you want, I'm happy to buy it, seeing as I'm the only one out of the 2 of us that has a VCR. I didn't even know this came on VHS. But it's not a clear case, it's white. I have this on DVD, but I didn't realise they were still... this ever got a VHS release, considering it got a DVD release. Oh, the cases seen better days, I think. Well, obviously there was some sort of sticker on it. I don't know if price sticker or, I think the DVD I have has a sticker on the front. Sort of just saying what the bonus features are. Someone's not peeled it off properly and now it's gone a bit disgusting. But... it's, a concert. From Kylie Minogue. I don't know if you ever listened to her music. I know she's still making music though. It's not bad what she's making now. I suppose it's just not my cup of tea. But I used to listen to everything she put out from the first album in was it 1988, 89, up until. I think the last one I own on CD is X. I think it was 2007. I didn't love that album, but there's so many unreleased songs from that album. She seems to have just recorded a bunch of different ones, and who knows what made it on. I don't think she had as much input on that album, but that was her first album she released after recovering from being sick, so... I had no idea this came on VHS. It is a shame about the cover and the sticker, but I don't know if I'll ever find this again. Well, I found her concerts fascinating. Her earlier ones were very much just what I suppose you would expect of a pop star, but I would say, I think the first one I actually own is Intermittent Live, which I own on DVD, and that came out before this. And this has a VHS. But Intermittent Live, she had a few different costumes, but very minimal. There wasn't like set pieces really. There's this one sort of little tower thing, staircase sort of situation. But I really loved the Impossible Princess album. It was very different from all the pop she'd done before. It's much more indie. She actually wrote some of the songs on that. I really liked it. But after that, the On a Night Like This tour was really the start of the more theatrical concert, I would say. She had a group of dancers with her, and some set pieces. There was this little bar and a grand piano at one point, and others. No, what? She did a cover of Olivia Newton-John's song "Physical," but slowed it down and made it sort of sultry. And she sort of is wheeled out on stage on this little square podium that has like a pole in each corner and a pole in the middle, and she's on the middle pole, and four of the female dancers are on each of the corner poles, and the pole dancing, and no, didn't awaken anything. I was already awoken by that point in time. Maybe. Anyway, it's a good number. It's the point I was making with that tour was there were some set pieces, and she and the dancers had costume changes, and their costumes like matched each other and almost had different themes. Like it opened with a sort of like kind of poolside beach. She comes down from the ceiling tied to an anchor, a sort of the cruise ship kind of theme, and then I suppose there's not a clear theme for each bit. Then she's just in this sort of leather kind of biker suit kind of thing. There's a bit near the end where it's kind of more like futuristic air hostess sort of vibe. But then the tour after that one, where I would say that's the tour where she started more experimenting with the tour looking more theatrical. But then after that, which is really interesting because on that tour she premiered Can't Get You Out of My Head. And the audience clapped, but, they were just like, okay. And then cut to a year or two later on the Fever tour, this tour, after Can't Get You Out of My Head had been released publicly and was number one everywhere. She performs that last. She has, she'll often do encores. This has 2 encores, and she did, so she'll do like, bye, guys, this is the end of the concert, and then leave, and then come back on. Oops, secretly there's 2 more songs, and then went by and left, and then came back on, and did Can't Get You in My Head right at the end, and everyone was chanting and singing it before she even popped up on stage. But, so obviously with the Fever tour, she's an even bigger star by this point than she was on the previous tour. This was filmed in Manchester? Yes, live in Manchester. In England, and she's from Australia, if you didn't know. So a lot of the earlier tours she did were mostly in Australia, and I think she did some tour dates in Japan, and then expanded also to the UK, possibly Europe, but I don't think she didn't do a concert, I don't think, in America until post-X. I think maybe 2007, 2008, something like that. I might be wrong. But, yeah, so this concert, I was fascinated. I was blown away. Again, some set pieces, and the stage is a lot larger, and has this big staircase in the shape of a K for Kylie. And the projection boards, like with videos on, which the previous concerts didn't have. And a lot more backup dancers and very clear segments. I think that the segments are actually named. It doesn't say the names on here. I think the first one's called like Cybertronica, and then I don't know the names of the others. But so it's amazing. Sorry, I get really excited. I just never seen a concert like it before. I'd never really seen many concerts before, and mostly theatre. And perhaps that's why I really was drawn to this one. But she comes up from the bottom of the stage in this sci-fi robot suit armor that slowly opens up and peels off her. And she's sort of this, like, alien queen, and the dancers are like her drones. That's the first segment from Come Into My World, Shocked, Love at First Sight, and Fever. And then she goes off, comes back in this sort of Clockwork Orange cosplay sort of thing with her and the dancers as like a little gang, which she performs just spinning around on, and then comes back in this gorgeous black dress with this kind of corset lace detailing at the back and a train, where she sings this medley of Crying Game and Put Yourself in My Place and Finer Feelings, and she walks down to the end of the catwalks part of the stage, and all these rose petals fall on her. She's gorgeous. Sorry, on the back it's listing all the songs, and I always forget about GBI, German Bold Italic. I can't explain that one. It's this strange song that she did in collaboration with another artist, and she's not on stage performing it, it's just the dancers. I can't even explain what they're wearing. It's sort of shiny silver wrestling. I'm not going to even try. Then, Confide in Me, Cowboy Styling Kids, she comes on dressed like I guess what is supposed to be a policewoman, but I mean, it's not any real costume, but yes. Is this, one of the dancers is doing kind of graffiti and breakdancing, but it's all cool because then she ditches the cop uniform and just, I guess, joins the gang. I don't know. And then, again, a lot of these, I don't mean to mention the term awakening so many times. The On a Night Like This, Locomotion, and In Your Eyes, they were like these big, circular, ottomans, I guess you could call them. And all of the dancers, the male dancers included, are wearing lingerie and stockings and high heels and eyeliner and makeup, and she comes out also dressed like that and does some songs, and to each side of her there's a male and female dancer paired up, and then she gets two male dancers, which means that when she's singing, those two male dancers they're dancing with each other in the same way that the male and the female couples to the side are dancing. I think that was the first time I ever saw two men dancing together. I mean, I'm very glad I got to see that eventually. That section is something, especially the version of the Locomotion, which might sound like a really cheesy song to do for that segment, but she slows it down into this kind of sultry jazz number. And then Limbo, Light Years, Lucky. I Should Be So Lucky. I don't know why this just says Lucky. It's sort of sci-fi. I don't know how to describe the dance number before Limbo, other than I've described it to other people as tap dancing Power Ranger Jedi, and they don't take me seriously until they see it, and then there's like, that's exactly what that is. Valentine, you were correct. Well, they're tap dancing and they're sort of in Sentai suits and then also wielding lightsabers. I don't know how else to explain it. And then that's where she ends the show, but then comes back for the Burning Up Better the Devil You Know encore, which she appears as like a volcano. I don't know how else to describe it. You just see this massive kind of fabric, and slowly up she comes on this platform, and this whole massive piece of fabric is revealed to be her skirt, and the platform just raises her up and up 10, 20 feet up into the air. I don't know how high she is, with the skirt underneath, and then you see the skirt is kind of moving, and towards the end of the song, when she gets lowered down, she opens the skirt up and all the dancers are underneath her skirt. I thought that was cool. And then she leaves, then she comes back for the final Can't Get You Out of My Head. Well, technically it's the remix she did, where she mashes it up with Blue Monday by New Order, so it's called Can't Get Blue Monday Out of My Head. And then this also has the VHS extra Feel the Fever documentary. I wonder if that's what the sticker was for on the front. But this is Kylie Fever 2002 in concert live in Manchester. There's not a lot of text on it. Parlophone, Dolby, Colour PAL, total runtime 147 minutes. Let's see. This is the only one. I don't think I own any other VHS that are a solid colour, like the case. I think the rest I have are transparent. This does have... Is it a whole booklet? Oh, that's a treasure trove. Can you hold the case under the tip? This is a booklet. Oh, it's just one piece that's been folded in half, but you can see, that's what she's wearing underneath the robot armor. I suppose that's her waiting to maybe go up. Yeah, she's just sort of wearing this sparkly mini skirt and bikini top, and these like thigh-high boots. And then there's the armor. I thought it was... I'm not much one for sci-fi. I don't dislike it, it's just not something I've ever felt drawn to. I suppose I get drawn more towards period pieces. That's probably not surprising. Or fairy tale sort of fantasy settings. And then that's the Crying Game medley dress. This is right before the Clockwork Orange bit, and then this is kind of kids after she's taking off the police jacket, and then on the back that's the volcano dress. Oh, some of this text is tiny. Oh, those are the credits, I think, for the photos? Oh, the photos aren't numbered. Well, there's text here on these black strips, and there's little bits of text in between with numbers, but I don't know what the numbers are indicating. Unless, oh, are they the numbers, the songs that are on the back of the case? Which also aren't numbered. No, that is what it is, because they aren't numbered, but this is credits for the songs, because it starts off with Richard Rodgers' Oscar Hammerstein for number 1, which might confuse you if you are familiar. I like musical theatre. I don't mean to assume that everyone knows what that is, but Rodgers and Hammerstein compose a lot of musicals, including The Sound of Music, and before she comes up on stage and sings Come Into My World, it plays this sort of overture, where she does sing a little bit of The Sound of Music. So yes, these are crediting the songwriters. And then in between that, created, directed and designed by William Bacon, Alan MacDonald, executive producers Bill Lord, Terry Blamey, Kylie Minogue, concert video direction Chris Keating, musical producer Steve Anderson, musical director Andrew Small, concert choreographer Raphael Bonicello, producer Claire Oxley, editor Guy Harding. I'm glad these are all getting credited. Like, a lot goes into a concert or any kind of film, you know. I don't think people really think. Maybe they'll think about the costume design, maybe maybe for something like this, they might think about, choreography and set design, but lighting's a big thing, and even also when you get a concert that's filmed, someone has to direct that, and decide where the cameras are going to be, and then it all has to be edited. Concert director of photography, Dan Bronx. Tour manager, Sean Fitzpatrick. Tour production manager, Steve Martin. Kylie's wardrobe. That's right, the costumes for this are by Dolce & Gabbana. I presume the armour wasn't, but the lingerie set was. For definite. I think a lot of yes, I don't think the armour was. Maybe it was, who knows. Lighting designer, Vince Foster. On stage, Kylie Minogue. Music director and drums, Andrew Small. Keyboard, Steve Turner. Bass, Chris Brown. Guitar, James Hato. Backing vocals, Lorraine Cato and Sharina White. Which I always thought was nice when she has backing vocalists. Kids is a song duet that she did with Robbie Williams. And when she performs it on stage, she does it as a duet with her backing singers. And she always makes sure to name her backing singers and her dancers and all of her band and have them get rounds of applause. And no, I always thought she seemed really humble. Turntables and scratching, DJ Siggy. Assistant choreographer, Amy Hollingsworth. Dance captain, Tim Noble. Acrobat, Terry Kvasnik. Dancers, peer driver, Patty Hines. Leda Manchi, Alec Mann, Jason Piper, Adam Pudney, Emma Ribbing, Alicia Herrero-Simon, Adil E. Satia, Melanie Teal, Rod Buchanan. Management, Terry Blamey. Management, video production, Blink TV, compiled by Abbey Road Interactive. Cover photography, Vincent Peters. Booklet and back cover photography, Stephanie Sednawi. Packaging design, Tony Hung. And then it links to a website that might not exist. It just says Kylie.com, but I don't know. This will always be who Kylie is to me, but I do remember Kylie. I don't follow these people. I'm not one for really following private lives of celebrities and stuff, but Kylie Jenner, is that her name? Tried to copyright the word Kylie, and all I could think was, excuse you. Not that I was actually bothered, but there's been another Kylie here long before you. And Kylie Minogue often would just put the word Kylie on products. I don't think you get to copyright, trademark a name. Other people can't help having the same name as you. I don't know if that ever went through. Well, I'm getting this. I mean, I wish that the cover was better, but I mean, with some hot soapy water, perhaps I can get that gunk off. This is a pretty good find. Goodness, we have... I told you not to let me ramble and that we'd be in here an hour. What must the shopkeeper think? Right, I'm getting these two. Is there any that you saw that you'd like? Alright, I mean, this isn't exactly a movie night. I mean, I suppose the Kylie concert could be if you're interested. Alright. Well, and Riverdance if you want, though. Again, I already have a copy at home. How about, given we were in here a while, I'll buy these, and then, we could, we could get lunch. I stuttered less when I was reading. I suppose I just sort of got in a world of my own. It's not... I don't want you to think that you make me nervous in a bad way. I'm not used to talking to other people. And I'm sure, the more time we spend together, the more I'll get used to it, and then the less nervous I'll be, but I think I'll always be shy. I think that's just part of the core of me. I hope you're not expecting me to grow out of that. Okay. Right, well, I'll go pay for these, and, you can pick where we eat. No, I'd like you to, considering I know this was your idea, but I also know you chose it because you know that I would like it, and we have spent an hour in this shop, and, I'm surprised I didn't put you to sleep. So, I would like you to pick where we eat. It feels only fair. I would feel better if you picked somewhere that you would like. It doesn't matter if they don't have, anything for me to drink. I can always, and if it comes to it, I can always grab, a drink from somewhere else, and then bring it in. They wouldn't kick me out for that, right? Having a water bottle on me. I mean, it wouldn't have water in it, but you understand. I mean, as long as you're not bothered about eating in a restaurant with me, and with a vampire, and me not eating anything. I don't want you to feel self-conscious, because you can eat as much as you like. I don't want you to think, because I'm not eating, I'm going to judge. I like baking. I don't really have anyone to bake for, so I would be more than happy if you like food, to keep you well fed. Well, you I suppose have a look what's in the area that you like the look of. I'll go up to the counter, and yeah, I'll be right back. Thank you for this, for suggesting this, and for not getting bored by me. It means a lot that you'd like to do little things like this with me, and indulge me. Well, if there's something that you really like, please do let me know, and next time we could do one of your favourite things. Or go shopping for things that you like collecting. Alright, yeah, I'll go pay for these. You figure out what you'd like to eat, and yeah, I'll be right back. Thank you all so much for watching, my lovelies. Reminder that I have a Patreon. If everyone who subscribed to me gave me just £1 a month, that would help me out a lot, allow me to move out and keep making audios in a safer environment. Rewards of being a patron of mine include access to my Discord, ad-free streaming and downloads of all my audios, and 2 exclusive spicy audios a month, with at least 1 per month picked from your requests if you join the top fledgling tier, and more. I also stream on Twitch most Mondays, Fridays, and Saturdays, and have an Etsy shop called Empty Masks where I sell fan art and original art. My Etsy also has stickers and other merch of my audio original characters under the Vampire Prince section of my shop. My art commissions are also currently open. Audio commissions are currently closed. Thank you to my patrons, my fledglings: Andy Christ, Salamoon, Lauren Lovett, Sazzy NK, Ebony Voigt, Fruit Island, Raincloud, Ciel, Nerd Herder, Satan is a Real Man, Ruby Red Gem, Carry On, Livia Nacito, Euronaughty, Asterash, Percy, Hell, Spicy But Sad, The Solasist, Tiffany Boyer, Void, Aspen, River Heights, Puff, Joanna Cole, Roses in Blue, Rake Art, Sweethearts Die, Emily, Sweet Jade, Tisnes, Kit, N, Tsukiyomi, Emery, Zorn NB, Gothmobit, Peachy, Pumpkin Pie 2-3, Nicole Thompson, Dahlia, Valkyrie Ace, Despair, Caitlin Mitchell, Dawn Robin, Persephone Black, Oh Man, Lady D, Brutslug for Music, Beautiful Thorns, Fern, Persephone Paris, Null and Void, Seo, Doomafrog, Alpaca Avalanche, Philip Dameron, Steph, Astoraci, Mark, Fowlin Rune, Demonics Anxiety, Deanna, Trunks Briefs, Ethereal Viking, Jazz, Emily, Vic, Nye, Ablyson, Amara Keen, Athena, Alyssa, Josie Moser, Pluto, Calix A, The Sleeping Poet, Next Time On, Silly Gay Goober, Nex, Goober, Bellwether, Pychan13, Aster Sarah, Rowan the Hunter, J, Product Volcaire, Shelps, Melissa Simpson, True Starshine, Micah Strange, SH7, Ophelia, Deleth, Incognita, Irrelevant Listener, Desifowl, Green Flog, Keyboard Clicks, Sister of War, Gabrielle Simpkins, Charlie, Boop, Bookstore Cryptid, Edward, Joel McRae, Wisteria Song, Max Little Spoons, J. Aries, Ace, Delirious, Rave, Ellie B, Skybound, Sunny, Dakin Luke, Elixir Key of Destiny, Miles, David Moser, Ost, Virgie, Willow Aarons, Lindsay Houston, Coffee Pot Cat, Cradle the Void, Grave 3, Rio Plushie, Momo99, Thembo Supreme, Mad Hatter, Grimbean, Maypop, Collective Unit System, Foxboy, Frostbitten, Alex B, Marco01, M, Warner Yako, Dal, Planet MB, Katie, Briarfell, Maria Davis, Jenia, Jordan, Omen Warn Them, PT, Daniel Wolf, Peachy Sakura, Crested Blossom, Elixir, X-Profane X, Abby Cats 16, Skylar Sheridan, I Am My Family's Loki, Olivia Osman, M Siren, Cassius, Iceberg, Avery, Emperain, Fishy78, Golden New, Plant Gato, Frosh, The Silent Star, L, Undercover Clown, Chrissy, Janza Jopar, Wolf with a Book, Primrose Path, Ducky, G, Bumble Baby, Agenda Techno, Des, Ica111, Inovias, Untrustworthy Narrator, Rinstorm, Will, Seppi Day, Blue Flame, Bumpkin, Northern Isle, AMC 1720, Mix Murder, Mossy Crow Phil, John Oxt, Molly, Hero, Quinn, SL, The Kraken, The Master of Tea, Arlo, Marina, October, Six Rabbits, Red Raccoon, Bexy, RMW, Red Velvet Rose, Rowan Torquil, Fantasy Princess, ASDF, Beloved Bog Goblin, March Andy, Ambrose, Midnight Whisper, Musa, Antichrist Socialite, Daniel D. Desjardins, Chaos Fox, Ash, Philogena, Nav, Black Seraphim 7, Heaven, Sequoia, Dragon Kitten 2, Ash, Adventurous Winter, Kiara Abley, Felix, Sam, Actually Static, Chris 07, Little Adventurer, Lost in Space Max, Colin Healy, Alex, Green Blue, Elle's Collection of Teeth, Angelus, Peachy Pop, Sakura the Neko, Lulu Boy, Luna Moth, LEC, Yanksits Connor, Bloody Wren, Grayson, Wren Pearson, Cinnabunny, Rose Cat, The Boy with No Name, Blue Cheese Cactus, Lex Frazier, Haz, Necromonia, Vexed and Hexed, Obscure Oni, Pidge, Vivi, Silas, Owl, Spooky Quest, Catastrophe 1742, Alec Worms, Mingus Owen, Jay the Bat, Becca, Caitlin Miskell, E, Banshee, Irina Shakina, Kitbird, Soul Lesser, Jack, Dionysus, Shadow 071108, Charlie Andy 101, Leviathan, Galactic Library, Apollo, Morgan, Vincent, Camiel Peterson, Costal Bumbun, Umiel, Fox, Benj, 100 Bunnies, Apple XX Pop, Ainsley C, Ranger Lee, Lovable Bull, Louis, Random MP, Jody Murray, Artist Lover, Fabulous Evolved, Lanky the Grave Robber, Kilroy, Mac, Roy, Shay, Riv, Fluffy Puffs, Devil Vidal, Kilgore, Fairy Pill, Elise Joynier, Simple, Jinxie, Derry, Apple Pie, Vi, Icarus, Verona, Gabble, Not That Eli, Ladybug 232, Extraterrestrial Omega, Midgardian Witch, Mothy, Helios Flame, Maxie, Clayson, Jazzy, Whimsical Willow, Tired Little Bat, Grey, Star Minion, Blaze, Val of Gaming, Vic, Cota, Caroline, Calgoon, Mad Dog, Trashy Kitty 69, Charlie Witt, Wilgrim, Kenma, Lemon on a Lily Pad, Ash, Core, Tobias Johnson, Black Canary, Chaotic Kai, Coda Wolf, Phoenix Hodges, I Need Healing, Zen, My Darling, Dead Roses, Virtual Angel, Rain Mimi, Mixed Teen 3A, Spoken Shepherd, Lettuce Man, Captain 8 Coco, Dame Melusine, Keegan Mattel, Artie, Nova, Trinity, Haggith Stoltz, The Crispy Boy, Bugs, Toe Beans, 003, Amati Aval, A.M. Paulson, Cyber Hall, Forks, Blood and Roses, Tyler Jackson, Anti-X Social Corps, Maria L., H.B. Savvy, Scott Draws, Jen, Ollie Up, Cassia, Mama Poot, Sean Gorton, Sparrow, Emily Catherine, Casey Williams, Sam, Mothghoul, Wolfon Bailey, 93, HRT Stotto, Breezy Bot, Shadow Song, Nicole, Lou, The Goblin King, Green Blue number 2, Microphone, Bugsy, Bug, Sweet Candy Heart, Sol, K-Bear, Amalia, Plant, Luca D'Amico, Cry Wolf 883, Agatha Vixorek, Just Monica, Wind Mortal, Reaper, Sandra, Riverwolf, Celios and Robin, John Ward, Amy, Mochu, B, Erin Lena, Your Librarian, B. York, Joey, Ruby Angel, Mathilde Bush, Cecilia Vidrich, Hannah Manning, Sona Holikova, Delighted, Quiet L, Cody, Hootie Hootlu, Henry Scott, Malachi Brown, Eris, Elixir Helsman, Celeste Baudelaire, and Miumi. And a thank you to my familiars: Saladeria, Cecilia, Jocelyn, Jessica Louise Forsyth, Moon Melancholia, Dust Like, Bitch and Bunny, Ali, AJ, Curiosity Girl, Nocturnal, Joel Botter, Emotional Lizard, Tarragon, Sweet Silence, FHVH3646, RGVVETF, Jubilant, and